In May, the rumors of North Carolina, Miami, Clemson, FSU, and other teams looked for greener pastures in the better conferences that made more money, millions more. In June, PGA and LIV Golf Tour announced a merger that created a different entity in the professional golf world. Before we go too far into the video, for those not up to speed on golf, the LIV Tour was another league, could say a rival to the PGA, with prominent golfers in it. Phil Mickelson is probably the most common golfer on the list. The kicker is where the money came from, the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund. Hello everyone and welcome to No Huddle, a sports channel devoted to college football where we talk about the latest news and events. If you like channels like these, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Without further ado, let's get into the topic. With a recent report from The Atlantic, David Dugan spoke with 4 unnamed athletic directors about the likelihood of college programs or even conferences taking money from Saudi Arabia. The biggest takeaway was one ad said that there was 50% chance 14 schools or conferences take the money from Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, PIF for short. A deal that stated in the same article before the merger of the two golf universities, Miami, there would have been North Carolina State, but with the new merger and Saudi Arabia expanding the idea of leaving the ACC, it is more likely that this expands into the college football world. The reported hope for the ACC run down the list of what Saudi Arabia invests the money to better illustrate the concerns. The Big Ten. But the problem is prominent soccer and football players signed to a 2.5-year contract worth an estimated average payout per member of the Power 5. The ACC was last from 2019 to now and is projected to be last in 2029 by a marginal difference of almost $9 million. The WWE signed a contract with the Kingdom to hold 2 events in the year Saudi Arabia through 2027, down the second and so far 9 events in discrepancy. Not to mention the Saudi Arabia team that defeated the juggernaut Argentina in 2022. All the teams in the SEC and the Big Ten will receive an average of $30 million more than the average of the ACC teams. Think of it this way, Vanderbilt University will get more than Clemson, FSU, Miami, and UNC. No offense to Naked Motors fans out there, but this is not fair if you're one of those schools because the impact they have on college football is greater. In a recent report with James Parks, the SEC could further with the addition of Clemson in the country of Saudi Arabia, average Texas and Oklahoma State, which involves the beheading of 81 people in 2022. The possible third team and would the civil rights unrest. But the SEC let's also not forget that Saudi Arabia terrorism on the United States that resulted in 9/11 in May. This now, could cause the ACC to panic and give the schools you have an ad saying that there was a 50% chance between the Saudi Arabia Commissioner James Phillips and the 7 schools. Not to mention the Pac-12 has a deal with ESPN that runs until 2024. Wanted the ACC and the conference does not have another big network interested in the what it does for Clemson, FSU, and possibly UNC. It is undetermined where the Pac-12 that one of the 2 big conferences, or if generating $30 million more, then this could be where Saudi Arabia makes a big play and try to secure a deal for the Pac-12. This is not the first time that schools have looked at the Pac-12 on one of their networks and contemplate the idea of changing conferences. And presumably this option would not yield enough funds to generate a profit, but it would not matter. In this case, we don't think Saudi Arabia minds because this could be another example of a country using sports. It could have enough momentum to receive a higher payout, especially if you're Clemson and FSU, because the impact each program has in college football is significantly more than other teams in your conference and other conferences. Also, not only distract the world from what is going on in Miami, but use their teams the pinnacle of college football, relevancy there were times in the late 90s and early 2000s image of Saudi Arabia is where the powerhouse to a lot of college football. And that is for UNC. Since background return, the Tar Heels look like a team that could enter the conversation of behind the NFL. It is an essential help the UNC gain traction, and Drake May is also essential to push the Tar Heels into that conversation too. Briefly, while this is a college football channel, image and likeness, let's not forget the impact some of these schools have on college basketball on their scholarships. So in this scenario, as we get No Huddle see it, maybe this is a way for these 7 schools dubbed the Magnificent 7 to get more. By the way, those are great movies. The Magnificent 7, both in 1960 with Charles Bronson and 2016 with Denzel Washington. No gunslinging in small towns under siege here though. This could be a way to gain leverage, but it would be minimal compared to the leverage for Clemson and FSU to gain more revenue from the ACC. If we were to believe that these schools want to stay in the ACC and want more money to do it, since the James recreational sports mentioned Clemson, FSU, and possibly UNC, this more than likely will change that athlete's perspective. Scenario 2, if their scholarship is on the verge of being taken away, SEC for greater revenue. In this, we see a much stronger SEC. Would you believe that maybe the one that climbs to the top of the Power 5 conferences by adding the powerhouse that is Clemson
many
football?
people believe
It makes sense
we
for the
know
Tigers
to
to join the SEC,
the lost
as they develop rivalries with some of the biggest teams in the SEC, more than likely to get a television deal for the Pac-12 and broadcast it on a big network, or just make the Pac-12 network. But the loss of that kind of money is not as big of a blow as it seems. This investment fund manages about $778 billion worth of assets. We'll say it again, 778 billion, billion with a B. So hundreds of millions are pennies compared to what you and I have. This would be an easy choice, we believe, if you're Saudi Arabia, a chance to improve an image for what is little money spent. This brings us to the next point, which is money over morality. In every debate, it seems money wins. We all know with the right amount, these problems don't seem so big. That is what Saudi Arabia is trying to do with this, and that is what sports washing is. They are trying to get people to look away from the bad things, sitting there and saying, hey, look at all these nice sports events we're bringing in. Look at all these nice stadiums. Oh, don't look over there at the civil rights issues. Don't look at the political turmoil in our country is in. Look at sports. You like sports, don't you? Look at them. Remember, folks, in The Athletic, it was about a 50% chance that now LIV and PGA merge. So what happened? The potential money involved would be too good for the Pac-12 and any other conference or any team to pass up. On a smaller scale, say a team in the SEC, let's say Vanderbilt, wants to become more competitive with Alabama and LSU, but does not have the money to do so. If the PIF comes along and donates or brokers a deal to make them more competitive, do you think Vandy will take it? Now, we aren't saying Vanderbilt is going to, but how far would a team that's at the bottom of the conference go to upgrade the team and become more competitive with the top teams? If it is where the money is coming from that bothers a team's conferences, there are ways to wash the money and make it cleaner, and on the surface it seems like it's coming from a good place, but those teams and the insiders for that team or conferences will know it's Saudi Arabia. Another example, DraftKings and FanDuel. Not so long ago, sports entities like the NFL, NBA, and MLB did not partner with daily fantasy sports and sports gambling sites. These were seen as taboo, and taking money from them showed in a way that these sports supported gambling. There was no advertising room. Now look at each league and see how closely tied these companies are. Nothing changed except the commissioners of the MLB, NBA, and NFL saw how much it could be made from partnering with DraftKings or FanDuel, and suddenly, sports gambling didn't seem so bad. It could be the same way with Saudi Arabia if they were to get involved with college football. Money will make problems go away and make atrocities of the past seem less significant. At least that is what the Saudi Arabian PIF is hoping for. However, we at No Huddle are saying that is their hopes and probably their plan to execute. To forget and forgive for 9/11 just doesn't sit right in our guts. Could be argued it is impossible. No, it is impossible. To forgive the country who orchestrated a terrorist attack that vanquished the lives of 3,000 people is, dare we say, un-American. We would not forgive, but we aren't the people running the Pac-12 or a struggling college program that makes much less than our competitors. At the end of the day, it will come down to how much money can the PIF dump into the conference or team for Saudi Arabia to have control and have a foothold in the second most watched sport in America. When that happens, it is certain Saudi Arabia will market themselves as a better country than they really are. Again, look at the sports and not what is going on in the country. They will try to repair the image stained by 9/11 and try to get the country to forgive them and say that they have changed since then. It is only a matter of time. But when that time comes, how will the college sports world react? Will there be enough money to wash to keep fans from knowing where the money is coming from? What lengths is Saudi Arabia going to take to try and repair their image? Let us know in the comments how you feel about this. And when it is time for it to happen, again, because it seems like it's a matter of time, how are you gonna react? Tune in next time to No Huddle.
Arabia, and it is taken.
In one of the biggest mass executions in decades, Saudi Arabia executed 81 men on Saturday, which included 7 Yemenis and 1 Syrian. And the number of executed this year has surpassed the 67 executions that took place in the kingdom in 2021.